is only war.
I should have a beer. I want to go get a beer. All right. Beer and a hat. That's what we got. Cheers. So what is up, gentlemen? World top 40k player with a Recon Marine Keevil. Bringing you some 40k Dirtbag Nation tactics. Today we're going to be going over the new 11th edition stratagems. These are going to be the core stratagems that every single army can use. There's a couple of ones that are busted. There's a couple of ones that are the same. And then there's a couple of tweaks to the old ones. So we're going to give you a tidbit, very competitive edge of the stratagems and kind of ideas on where you're going to be using them in 11th edition. So there's a lot coming up in Dirtbag Nation. Keevil's been working on the first ever Warhammer 40k and mental mindset book. Actually, it's in the description below. It's going to be coming out in July, so stay tuned for that. We're super pumped about bringing that to you guys. And if you guys are new to the channel, we were #1 Grey Knight player in the world 3 years ago. That's kind of how we started our venture. Then we went to #1 Chaos Space Marine player in the world. Then last year we actually threw it up with Oscar. We were #1 Death Guard player in the world. That was a super fun year. And then this year we're #1 Ork player in the United States. So the core rules that we teach on the Dirtbag Nation, really you can use in any single army. And that's kind of what, if you guys are looking for that, you can get the professional coach in your corner, head over to Patreon, all the fun stuff. But this video is going to be strictly showing you that if you focus on reading the core rules, knowing the core rules better than your opponent, you're going to win a lot more games of 40k. So we're going to get into that. Quick shout out to the sponsors. We have new merch. That's in the description below. Check out our website. That's down below as well. Keevil worked his ass off on that. And then all of these are up on the merch store if you guys want some sweet ass swag at RTTs and GTs. So quick shout out to the sponsor, and then we'll be back for the stratagems of 11th edition. All right, guys, thanks for clicking on the video. If you guys want to support the channel, stay tuned towards the end of the video where we'll go over all of this stuff, as well as any of the links in the description below for laser lines, shirts, and gear is in all the description. So stay tuned towards the end and enjoy the video. So we're starting off with heroic intervention. This I made an entire video on, so go check that out. It's actually on the webpage, or on YouTube. That video goes over specifically how busted heroic intervention is going to be. But we might as well start off with it because it is my favorite and the most busted strat that every single army now can use. I was playing Space Wolves at the last GT, and he told me about the strat that you can heroic in the fight phase 2 CP within 6 inches. I was like, that is insane. That is so busted. And it worried me the entire turn. I was moving my guys to try and stay 6 inches away from his Terminator, so that way he couldn't heroic intervention into me for whatever. I thought it was 1 CP for them. If it comes out, it's 2 CP. Didn't know that, so I fucked up my entire turn for nothing. He's like, no, it's 2 CP. I'm like, what the fuck, man? I should ask more questions, whatever. So now every single army has it. So every single army, 2 CP, which is 1 CP for heroic intervention, which we'll go over, but 2 CP, an additional CP, when making a charge roll. This is at the end of your opponent's charge phase. So once he's done all of his charges, let's say he has a unit 6 inches away from you, screening you, so you can't move on an objective or whatever it may be. When making a charge roll, if the result is greater than a 6, so it's only a 6, so you can't roll a 7. If you roll 7, it goes back down to 6. When selecting charge targets, you can select any enemy units that are within 6 inches of your unit and within the maximum distance. So maximum distance 6, charge units within 6 inches, and then you can counter charge. So what this means is if I move up my guy 6 inches away from you, you can spend 2 CP at the end of my charge phase, and you can charge that unit even though I didn't charge. They're just there trying to screen you. Or you're like, nope, screw that. I'm just going to charge them, and if you roll 6, 70% chance, you're going to then charge me, kill my guys, pile in, consolidate, and get even closer to my army on my turn. That's what's so crazy. So this strat is literally, if you read it like 1,000 times and practice it, because you're going to have to know your opponent can do this and you can do this at the same time. So this is going to be huge. If you have any free strats, this is the one you're saving it for. Heroic used to be cool, but you can stay out of 6 inches away now to try and like not get heroic. That changed with the first heroic. One friendly unengaged unit within 12 inches. They might fact this. I mean, this is just insane. But who the hell knows? Of 1 or more enemy units, you can select a vehicle if it's a character or walker. and then resolve a charge with your unit. While doing so, before making a charge roll, you must select one of the following modes. So this is going to be the 1 CP one. This is going to be the 2 CP one. The 1 CP one will leap to defend. So if they charge, and they're ending within 12 of you, you can then charge at the end of the charge phase. You can't charge mid-phase anymore. So you can't, there's no mid-phase counter charge, which used to be good for the defender, because if you charge in and then they counter charge you, if you have a second unit nearby, they can have an easier charge into that unit that just charged. So there's a lot of trickery there with the counter charge. You can kind of like set up a bait charge where like you charge in, do you want a heroic? No? Okay, I'm going to charge the opposite direction now because he thought I was going to charge this way. So now like they can't move at all. So there's a lot of ways to like bait people into doing that. That's gone. Now it's just at the end of the charge phase. So this is one that's going to be really good to practice and make sure that you have it down, but this is going to be really good for last ditch effort charges as well. So end of the game, like turn 4, turn 5, you really need to kill this target. They're getting into the perfect position to set up for next turn and try and charge and kill you, or they're screen blocking you. You're like, I need a 9-inch charge. Let's try it. So they charge in, they're 9 inches away or even 10 inches away. You're like, screw it. Let's try and go for it. You spend the CP, you bang out a 10, and then all of a sudden you just fucking flip the entire game and win on bottom 4, bottom 5. That's going to be insane when it's on stream. Hopefully people go crazy with that. But yeah, that is going to happen in 11th edition. So this is the first strat we're going over. A lot of tactics with this. So hopefully this video is going to help you guys out with some tactics and ideas and stuff like that to practice with. Share it with all your buddies so that way you can get the Dirtbag Nation out there to all of the local groups. Because that's what we do is mindset, men's mental health, and tactics for 40k. And you can't reroll this anymore because you can't spend 2 strats in the same phase. That's also something to think about. Command reroll. One of the things went away. Actually, no. Yeah, so Desperate Escape, or no, I guess Desperate Escape is the hazard roll now. Unless it's still the same thing. So any phase, just after making one of the rolls, you can reroll one of these. So reroll the advance roll, the charge roll, the damage roll, the hazard roll, the hit roll, the save roll, and the wound roll. So you're not going to be able to reroll essentially damage if you spend a strat on that target. So let's say you are shooting your tank, you have a d6 damage, you spent 1 strat for +1 AP or whatever, you roll the damage and it's a 1. You can't spend a CP to then re-roll that damage because you already spent a CP that phase on the tank. So again, remember that as well. So a lot of the stuff is just making sure that you and your opponent are calling each other out on that so that way you get used to doing that. Because before it's just like, I will spend 3 CP on this one unit to try and do something. Damage roll, hazard roll, hit roll, save roll, wound roll, and a roll to determine the number of attacks generated with the weapon. In fact, you reroll, and then excluding charge rolls, which you must reroll both. So you can select one of the dice to reroll if it's one of the dice, but charges you have to reroll both. So you can't have the 6 and then reroll the 1, which would be really cool, but can't do that. That would actually be really fucking cool. All right, so that is the command reroll. Now I have to look up real quick Desperate Escape. So it's just a hazard roll now. So they changed the keyword to a hazard roll instead of a Desperate Escape roll. So that's cool. So because hazard now is only 3 mortal wounds if you're a vehicle, and then if you're not, then it's just 1 mortal wound for a 1 or 2. So next up is the explosive strat, which is the new grenade strat. If a character has or a unit has grenades or explosives, which is the new keyword, and they're eligible to shoot and did not make an advance roll. So you cannot advance and throw a grenade. Couldn't do that before either. But the difference is you can fall back and throw a grenade. Because before you couldn't fall back and throw a grenade. Now you have to be eligible to shoot. So if you have a fall back and shoot or fall back and shoot strat in the movement phase, because this is in the shooting phase. So if you spend a CP to fall back and shoot, you can then also use a grenade strat in the shooting phase to chuck a grenade and then shoot as well. So that's a cool change. But again, you have to be eligible to shoot. So if you fall back and you can't shoot because you fell back, a lot of armies can fall back and shoot or fall back, shoot, and charge. So that is one of the differences. Everything else stays the same though. 6 dice on a 4+, 1 mortal wound. Within 8 inches and visible. So basically everything stay the same, except that you can fall back and do it now. Next is the Epic Challenge. So precision, which I'm going to do a video on precision specifically, but Epic Challenge is the same. The difference is the precision keyword. So the precision changed that all of the order of activation for the fast dice rolling has to go on the character first. So really this is only going to come up when it comes to, I would say, a lot of attacks. Like if you have a greater demon, you have like what, 15 attacks or something, all 2 damage. You're just like, all right, I'm just gonna precision. Here's 15 attacks. Roll your 12 saves. The first 3 ones that you make are on your character, so there goes 6 damage to your character. Your character dies. The rest of the saves can go on to the unit. It's not really going to come into play when you have like a guy with six attacks, maybe 4 attacks or 5 attacks, because you're going to hit on like 2s or 3s, and you're going to wound on 2s or 3s, and you're going to miss a couple. Most of the time you're going to be doing this on either units that could do a lot of precision attacks, or precision shooting that has a lot of precision attacks, or a lot of attacks coming in from one character, or it's really high damage. So Gaz, for example, Gaz has 6 attacks, +1 hit, +1 wound. Sometimes you get full rolls to wound if you're playing Green Tide. So you're going to most of the time wound 6 times, but it's 4 damage. So if they fail 2 of them, the character's going to die. Sometimes 1 of them. So let's say he has to roll 6 dice. Well, in 6 dice, he's probably going to roll 2 dice that are under 4 pluses, but he has a 4-up invuln save. So that character now, 2 failed saves, which the first 2 are going to be the fast dice roll, are going to go onto the character. That character's going to die. And then the rest of them are just going to go onto the unit. So precision is going to be really good specifically into characters that have Makari is going to be fucked. You can just do precision, and then that first 1 from your fast dice is going to go onto Makari first. So Makari is out of the fray for the rest of the game, and then the rest of them you can put onto the unit, because you can pick the order. So you go character, green boys, gas. So then the first one that comes up is going to be Makari. Now, if all of them are 2 pluses, then yeah, you fucked up. But if all of them are, if one of them's a 1, that 1 goes to the front of the line, Makari dies, and the rest of them go in there. So again, it has to be a lot of rolls for stuff like that, or a lot of damage. But everything else basically stayed the same. Crushing Impact is new. So keyword monster is added. So all of our monster Tyranids, Chaos Demons, like a lot of new strats just opened up for all these units. Even Demon Princes. So toughness 12 Demon Prince on a Death Guard model, right? Running in 12 dice and then just doing some mortals on the impact. Now the difference though, they did add this. You suffer 1 mortal wound for each roll of a 1. So they did add a little bit of a caveat where there are chances that you're going to hurt yourself, because it is called Crushing Impact. So you're literally running into something. So that makes sense that you're going to hurt yourself as well. Sometimes you have a tank that only has like 1 to 3 wounds left. So potentially he is going to be able to die as well while he does the Crushing Impact. So yeah, sometimes you could just roll a lot of 1s. But it's all the same, max 6, and then on a 5+ they take a mortal wound based off of your toughness. Anything else change? No, select engaged with your unit. It's 2 inches now for engagement. You don't have to be base to base or within 1. So select 1 enemy unit engaged with your unit. Select 1 model in your unit engaged with that enemy unit. Your charge phase. Yeah, so it's all the same thing. This one is your charge phase, so you can't do this with like a counter charge or anything, which makes sense because you can't do 2 strats anyway. All right. Then we got Insane Bravery. This is essentially the same, except you guys have to remember that Battle Shock does not end. It continues to the next round. So if you have a unit Battle Shocked on your home objective, and you're like, fuck, I really need my home field objective, let me spend Insane Bravery, you can't, because they're Battle Shocked. So you can't Insane Bravery a unit that's already Battle Shocked because they're Battle Shocked. So you can't use a strat on them. That's a big difference in 11th edition, is getting used to that, because they're going to have to continuously roll Battle Shocks if they're at below half strength, or not, at half strength, which is different. So if they're at half strength, Battle Shock, and if the leader unit is dead, the leader has to continuously roll Battle Shock tests for the rest of the game, which is huge. So Gaz with the Swarming Boys just keep rolling Battle Shock tests. That unit, the battle shock roll is automatically successful. You cannot use it, so everything else is the same. But again, just remember, battle shock continues. So if you're already battle shocked, you can't save insane bravery, which is honestly huge, guys. Huge. Rapid ingress, pretty much exactly the same. End of your opponent's movement phase. Unit makes an ingress move. Cannot use this during the first battle round, so specifically put that in there. So you can't do this in the first battle round unless it specifically says in your data sheet. Smoke screen is new. I don't know if this was the same wording as the last time. I rarely use smoke screen, but this is my idea. Start of your opponent's shooting phase. One friendly smoke unit. Some units have smoke keyword, like commandos, for example. So until the end of the phase, each time a attack targets either your smoke unit or a unit that is not fully visible to the attacking model because of one or more models in your smoke unit, that targets the benefit of cover against that attack. So benefit of cover now gains cover, which is -1 ballistic skill. My idea is if you have a smoked unit, you basically just move forward or run forward, screen with like 5 commandos, and then when your opponent goes to shoot, let's say they're shooting behind you, you smoke, and now everybody behind the commandos are -1 ballistic skill, even if they're right in the open. Because this says, start your opponent's shooting phase, one friendly smoke unit. So it doesn't even have to be targeted. You basically just run up, even a 10-man commando unit. You're like, turn 1, run forward, screen. All the bikes behind you, run forward, get into position. They go to shoot, smoke. Everything is fucking cover behind your entire unit. So that's something new. If you have a tank and it lasts for the whole phase, if you have a tank forward and the tank is has smoke, you just pop smoke, everything behind the tank, even just clipping the tank a little bit, gains the benefit of cover. So that is actually a cool idea that they implemented. So that might be something to test out. You might have something to build around it. Like if you have a cheap unit for screens, you can just use them, throw them forward, and then spend a CP for the smoke. So it's something we got to test out. Fire Overwatch. End of your opponent's movement phase. So no more start or end, and no more start or end of the charge phase. It's just end of your opponent's movement phase. So I'm figuring, wait, let me read snap shooting real quick. So this might be rarely used now, before where you get to just get fishing for 6s and then full rerolls and stuff like that. Right now, absolutely no rerolls, which is awesome. Even reroll 1s cannot do it. And you can only target one visible enemy unit within 24 inches, and only if it's an eligible target. Each attack that hits an unmodified hit roll of a 6, and you can't do an action as well. So basically, you can't do it now in the beginning of the charge phase. Like, you can't wait to see where I go to kind of see if I'm going to charge you or not. You can move out of the way of a big tank to try and not get overwatched. You can walk behind a wall so that way they can't see you anymore, and then no more overwatch. So this is almost like the counter charge where it's at the end of the phase, so a lot of stuff is changing. But now you don't have to worry about being overwatched, like coming in from reserves, and then they move up the tank, and then you go to move your guys in your phase, and then you just get obliterated with Overwatch. So that's really cool. I wonder if, like, if it says you can Overwatch on a 4+, that might still be around, like the new Defiler from T-Suns. But yeah, everything else, I don't have to fear Overwatch really anymore. Flamers are going to be a lot less better now, because it's, again, at the end of the movement phase. So if you're within range of the flamer, you can then just move sideways into a wall or behind a building and then charge on the other side of the building and not get flamed, because flamers have to be able to see you after I'm done moving. So that is actually huge. That's going to be bad for T-Suns. T-Suns kind of lived on the Overwatch, so they have to be really careful about that. But yeah, that's actually a huge change with the Overwatch. Now, Heroic Intervention, I didn't know they put this there twice. But yeah, Heroic Intervention is the same. We just went over. Counter Offensive. So this is the one where, I think, yeah, this is the last one. So Counter Offensive is basically just gain fight first. So it's the same as before. It was the Heroic, I don't know if it's called Heroic Intervention, but It's the same strat as before. It's 2 CP. You basically just gain fight first. Now, the difference between fight first now and before is the attacking player always gets to fight first. So no matter if I charge a fight first unit, used to be in 10th edition that the fight first unit will always fight first, no matter even if it's a charge or not. Now, I charge in, I gain the fight first ability. Even if I'm going into your fight first unit, I still can attack them before your fight first unit. So way downgrade for the fight first units in 40k, and it's a lot less reliable, I guess, in your list. But now you can just do the same interrupt by giving another unit fight first. So fight step of your opponent's fight phase just after an enemy unit has resolved its attack. So basically, the enemy has to fight first, and then one friendly unit that is eligible to fight gains the fight first ability and fights next unit until you select the fight. So essentially, you just get fight first. So you get to interrupt after one of their units has attacked, and then that's it. So I guess if combat's already going though. First step of your opponent's fight phase, just after enemy unit has resolved its attack. So I don't think you can fight first even if I didn't charge. Because the charge phase now, the attacking player gets to pick the first combat. Before, the defender used to pick the first combat. So the defender technically used to be able to fight before the attacker. Now, when the attacker's turn, if nobody charged, I get to fight first. And then my opponent would counter offensive. So it says one friendly unit that is eligible to fight until the end of the phase. That unit has the fight first ability and must be the next unit to select the fight. So I guess you don't really need to waste your CP on this because you're going to be fighting next anyway. So this is mainly if you have 2 charges. So if they charge 2 of your targets, he's going to have to pick one of them, and then you can spend 2 CP on the other one and interrupt like it was in 10th edition. So this really didn't change at all. So hopefully this helped you guys out, gave you some ideas on the strats that we're going to be using in 11th edition, because everybody's going to get these strats. So the main ones that you should really be focusing on is obviously Heroic Intervention. Like, that one is going to be insane for offensive and defensive. The Crushing Impact for monsters, definitely good to practice. The Epic Challenge with the Precision. Remembering Battle Shock. Smoke Screen if you're shooting behind a screen that has smoke. Rapid's the same. Fire Overwatch, not as aggressive. And that's it. Everything else essentially is the same and nothing really crazy. So let me know in the comments below what I missed. Let me know what you think about the video. More tactics coming up in 11th edition. There's so much to talk about. We'll probably be going over fast rolling and precision next. But yeah, really appreciate you guys. Go join the nation over at patreon.com. Check out some of the merch. And click the webpage. Worked hard on that, and the book is coming up in July. So guys, appreciate it. Good luck, and we'll see you in another video soon. All right, guys, thanks for sticking towards the end of the video. If you guys want to support the channel, all the links in the description below, which we'll go over. But these right here, we have 3D prints of Cypher, Tech Priest, Phobo Libby, Combi Libby, Lieutenant, Calidus, Codiez, and the Lord of Contagion. All those are up for sale. Message me on Discord. All these widgets, the 6-inch, 2-inch, 3-inch, 1-inch, they pop out. Those are up for sale. The 9-inch widget, the 1 CP token, where you guys can keep track of the CP every single game. The token markers for Chaos and Grey Knights, they're poker chips. Those are really good for sticky objectives. And then also the wound gauges and the fuck you and fuck me tokens are up for sale as well. And we have a new sponsor, Snot Goblin Terrain. They are really, really cool. What's great about them is you can customize them for any layout. So if you run a Games Workshop layout, or if you run WTC layout, you can run it that way. And the best part, it's super hard plastic, not going to break on you. And also it's all fully painted. So check on the link below if you guys want to check these guys out. We use them in our streams and they look super awesome on the stream, but it's really good to travel into all your stores and bring them with you. So check those guys out. Then we still have 3D6 Wargaming, where if you guys want some custom templates, you guys can click on these. And then our new and improved Rexar lasers, laser lights with the Dirtbag logo on them. These guys are at a lot of local GTs, especially in the Texas area, but these lasers are rechargeable. So definitely be picking this up. I'm going to be getting sent one of these so I can show you guys on the live stream and stuff like this. But you guys get the Dirtbags and the lasers rechargeable, so highly recommend the Rexar lasers in the description below. Look at this. Look at that line. It is so good. And it's rechargeable. At the top, it's got the USB. Just plug it right in. Good to go. This shit is legit. And lastly, guys, the merch store. This I love seeing at GTs. When you see it across the room, you see your own logo, which is so cool. It's the red, white, and blue. We have the hats as well. They're all flex fit with the Dirtbags logo on the back. I just love wearing backwards hats. But all of these are available in the Printify shop. It's print to order, so you can get all these shirts, different sizes, different colors. We also have the old school stuff. We have the Nurgling. We have mugs, which you can fit your entire hand in, and some of the Grey Knight logos as well. So let me know what I'm missing. You can message me on Discord, but stay tuned if you guys are interested in the Patreon. That'll come up last. So appreciate it, guys, and let's keep it going. What is up, gents? 40k Dirtbags here. If you guys are interested in joining the Dirtbag Nation over at patreon.com, you get a bunch of perks. What we did in 2024 was we really expanded. I had traveled a ton and I played my ass off in 40k. Right now we're ranked #1 best player in the United States on ITC rankings. We were the #1 Chaos Space Marine player in the world this year in 2024. 2 years ago, we got ranked #1 Grey Knight player in the world, and this year we're probably going to go into Death Guard, hopefully when the new Codex comes out, or Emperor's Children. But you guys, if you guys want that head coach or that coach always in your corner, just to ask questions, bounce ideas off, that's what the competitive Dirtbag and the Dirtbag Nation is all about. If you guys want to support the channel, you head over to patreon.com. You can join the Just a Car tab, which is $5 a month. You guys get access to the Discord Patreon tab. You have to be a patron to get into that Discord, and also I'm always there. All the other coaches are there. Basically, it's just such a good community over on Discord that you guys get specific access to it that only Patreons can get. If you guys want to bump that up, the competitive Dirtbag tier, you guys get to message me or another Grandmaster or another Dirtbag coach over the Dirtbag Nation to add unlimited questions, list ideas, list reviews, and bounce ideas off of. That's what having a coach in your corner is all about. If you guys want to bump up to the Grandmaster tier, that tier you get every perk under the sun. So basically you get access to Discord, you get one-on-one coaching, you get a call once a month if you guys would like to go over any RTTs coming up, any GTs coming up, any list reviews live over Discord chat, and also a special perk that Grandmasters get if you guys want any video suggestions like we do all the time with these table setups that we just upgraded thanks to the Patreons. You guys get suggestions or battle reports you want to see specifically played live by a coach or myself on the next battle report, or a live battle report coming up on the Patreon. So you guys get obviously first access to all the videos. We post them first on patreon.com, but there's just a ton of benefits to having a professional coach that plays this game all the time at the very, very high competitive level in your corner at all times. And that's really what the Dirtbag Nation is all about, getting you guys better at 40K, the basics, and being good in your community. So if you guys want to support the channel, I really appreciate it. Couldn't have done it without you guys in 2024, 2025. I am super stoked for, super excited for. If we really want to get a bigger studio going, that is going to be my focus in 2025, is really growing the community on YouTube and Patreon specifically. So thank you so much for 2024, all my Patreons. If you guys are interested in joining and want that coach in your corner, head over to patreon.com and support the channel. Appreciate it.